Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast. A podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. And we've been gone so long that we forgot how to do it.
It's been a while. How many times will I sing that in the next 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes?
I don't know, but I put our failed live stream on I locked it down so no one can see it. But welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. We will re-upload this to the YouTube and we will try to work through our whatever's going on.
The yips.
I did not set up the camera this time.
All I did was plug it in.
Well,
I didn't know if there was anything more that I had to do than that.
I don't know. Maybe this.
What's that?
What's what?
Why is there stuff in the top chat?
Chat disconnected.
Ah, okay. There were words on the screen and I needed to make sure that they were things that we needed to care or not care about.
But we are here and we're excited to be back once again podcasting, and we had a very busy month of May and we went on vacation, and we'll talk all about that, and we may even get sidetracked a little bit and talk about aliens.
Did we say who we are?
Oh, my name's Joe. This is Caroline.
Hey.
Thanks so much for being here. But first, what are we drinking?
So, because I am still in vacay mode, I am drinking a truly unruly berry blast with other natural flavors, hard seltzer. It's 8% ABV and contains 4% juice. It's a hard seltzer with juice from concentrate and with other natural flavors. And it doesn't taste like it was produced adjacent to fruit. It tastes like it touched fruit at some point in the seltzer making process. Plus, it's a higher ABV. So
it's like 10% or something.
It's 8%. I just said that. So it's 180 calories instead of 100 calories.
It's a sugar water with flavoring.
And alcohol.
Yes, and alcohol. And I am drinking, in honor of Father's Day tomorrow, I am drinking a Rausch beer, which is a smoked lager from
Westside.
Yep,
Thanks,
Westside Brewing. It is 6% ABV, 25 IBUs, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
So, in honor of Father's Day, you usually grill. You usually have some kind of grilled
meats.
Grilled meat, yep.
Grilled or smoked meats.
Grilled or smoked meat. This is the perfect. We already ate dinner. And we'll talk about that a little bit as well, where we went today, maybe. Yeah. So it's delicious. It's ruby red.
I feel like we've drank it on the beer. We have drank the beer on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm. It's the perfect level of smoke, I think. But
Rausch beer. It's not for everyone, but it's delicious.
It's one of those controversial beers.
Yeah.
Beer styles.
Yeah.
Too.
So first things first, we are recording from the bar.
We are.
So Joe's mom bought 6 bar stools for their countertop bar at their house, and they only could fit 4. So she had 2 that were just chilling in their basement. And our pre-vacation cleaning was mostly packing stuff into the car to leave. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a whole lot of like cleaning or organizing of the house done. Their get ready for vacation involved cleaning out the shed, the basement, and the garage.
I have no idea why.
I don't know why either. Their house looks really good now, though. It's very organized. And so she found this box with 2 bar stools and was like, here you go, and I'll buy you 2 more. So we have bar stools at the bar, and we're like, we're going to record at the bar because I finally assembled those. on Thursday. Thursday sounds right because the kids were napping.
Yeah, it was later this week for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I came home with a generator and bar stools before vacation, and I'm like, just shove these in the garage because I can't touch these until after vacation. But yeah,
don't tell everyone we have a generator.
They have to find it.
Well, we have to find it.
It's easily identifiable in a box that says generator on the side because it's still in the original box. I'll find it eventually. But yeah, so we're at the bar, and that's exciting. We have beers, and that's really good. So big milestones that have happened since the last time we recorded. Lily finished out the school year, as did Elliot. Elliot's was very much just like, hey, it's the last day of class. Sweet. Hopefully I'll see you next year. We'll see. Odds are very high we're going to see her next year. And then with Lily, though, it was like, hey, we have our end of the year ceremony again where we sing our songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3-year-old class did This Little Light of Mine again. So while they were singing, Lily was also singing. Because she's like, I know this song. I'm going to sing with them.
Yep.
And I got to help out with one of the water days this year. Because they only asked for volunteers on one of the days. I guess because they had enough volunteers for the other day. So I took a day off work and I helped at Lily's school. And I took off a day of work for her end of the year celebration. She did really good. She sang all her songs. She smiled really big. We had to have an emergency potty break halfway through.
Forgot about that.
But she made it back in time. And Elliot was not impressed or interested in the majority of the ceremony.
He was, I don't know if he was jealous.
He might have been.
Or I guess he just didn't understand why Lily was,
Lily got to sit up.
Was up there.
And he was over here. Because, they'll be fine during Mass. And it was essentially like, hey, we're just going to hang out for an hour like Mass in a pew. Except your sister's there and literally, most of your family is right next to you. As opposed to just the 4 of us.
Yeah, my mom and dad and sister were there.
Yeah.
So, he didn't really, I guess, enjoy it.
Nope.
You guys disappeared for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
While I recorded on my iPhone.
Yeah.
What is it, an iPhone 6?
It is, the lock screen on it is me pregnant with Lily. And that was
iPhone 8. It's an iPhone 8, I think.
You got it at least a year and a half before Lily was born. I don't remember whether we got new phones because your phone was acting up or my phone was acting up.
I think they both were.
They might have both been acting up, which is why we got new phones before Lily was born. And then I converted you to Android.
Yeah, the Android phone lasted 4 years.
It did.
The one after my first Android lasted 4 years.
Yeah, the only reason why we got new phones was because I had dropped mine a few too many times. And I actually cracked the screen. And then it was every time I dropped it after that, the screen cracked a little bit more. And there was actually a little chip or 3 out of the screen. So there were certain areas that were uncomfortable to scroll on.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The iPhone, the iPhone was my first smartphone. And,
yes.
I've always had issues. I think they do it on purpose. I don't know if
there was a class action lawsuit or something like that because
I don't know if they
it
could
was
prove
found out, or they were very convinced at the very least that they were doing something on purpose.
But yeah, every 2 years, basically, it would slow down. The battery wouldn't work. I feel like it's probable that they do something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my Android phones are just chugging along.
Planned.
Like, this is great.
What is it called? Planned obsolescence.
Planned obsolescence. Yeah.
Obsolescence.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Obsolescence is a hard word. I have to say it a lot at work. Otherwise, I'd be really, really bad at it. Yeah, so Lily had her end of year graduation. We did a lot of hangout outside time after that. And then it was, okay, we have a week to prep for vacation. Which involved lots and lots of packing and trying to figure out where all of our beach stuff lived. I found all of it. I was very proud of myself because the last thing that I needed to find was our big water jug that I used to wash the kids' hands, or just like whatever it is that we need to wash off on the beach that we don't want to be like super sandy or super salty. And that was in a box, buried in the basement, and buried in the garage.
In a box.
Yeah.
In another box. In a box.
I'll put that box in a box, and I'll put that box in another box, and I'll mail that box to myself. And when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer. That's a really good movie. It's like one of my favorites. So we packed all of the swimsuits. I overpacked Elliot. I like right on the line packed Lily. Because Lily helped me pack her, and she was like, oh, this is just all that we need. And I'm like, sweet, sure. And then Elliot, I was just like, but all of these outfits are really cute. Shove in suitcase. So he had lots of fancy outfits to choose from. And Joe's sister drove down with us. So I was trying to make sure that she knew what her limitations were with what she could bring. And we managed to fit everything in the van that we wanted to bring.
Barely.
Well, but like your brother sent a picture of them on the drive up, and it was like literally like stuff was falling on them in the car.
I don't understand that.
I don't either. They still had plenty of room out their back, like in their trunk. They could see out their window. But like we could see out of our window. Someone was not ready to go at 3:00 in the morning because the kids lulled him to sleep.
Oh, one kid.
Yeah.
I usually fall asleep when I put Elliot to bed.
Yeah.
He's a little stinker. I mean,
He
he fights it every step of the way.
And then he's like, snuggle with me. I'm so cute. And then you both fall asleep snuggling together.
No, eventually I just ignore him and I go on my side, and then it's really sleepy. I go like on Twitter, and then I'm like, I'm tired. And I fall asleep. And then he falls asleep.
Yeah.
So usually I fall asleep first, and then it's, or we fall asleep together.
Yeah. So I was very proud of myself because we actually I had the van packed by like 9 at night, the night before. Mm-hmm. So all we had to do was throw ourselves and our kids in the car.
And I was doing an emergency grass cutting.
Yeah. Joe was in the middle of doing emergency grass cutting.
Weed eating.
Yeah. And so we managed to get Jenna and myself sit in the living room for like 10 minutes waiting for Joe. We get Jenna in the car. We get Lily and Elliot in the car. And we managed to hit the road at like 3:30 when I wanted to hit the road at like 3. But there was less traffic than when I had initially put in my GPS. Hey, this is where I want to go. So it wasn't like we made it there like right after Cracker Barrel opened up. Because they open up at 7.
They open up at 7.
They open up at 7, and we got there at like 7:10. If we would have left at 3:00 in the morning, we would have gotten there at like 6:45, and I would have debated driving to the next Cracker Barrel, which would have been a terrible idea. Because I think it wouldn't have been for a while. Because we went to the far side of Knoxville. It was funny as we were driving through Knoxville, Joe was like, "There's a Cracker Barrel. There's a Cracker Barrel." Why are we passing all of these places that I want to stop at? But the kids did really good. They didn't. It took them about half an hour to 45 minutes to fall asleep after we got back in the car. But then once they fell asleep, they were out. What did Lily do? Lily did something. She talked in her sleep. What did she say?
Oh, I don't remember.
She blamed something on Elliot. And then Joe looks at her and he looks at Elliot and he's like, Lily, Elliot's sleeping. And I'm like, Joe, your daughter is pulling at you. She is not here right now. This is a dream. She will have no recollection of this conversation.
She covered up her face with her blanket.
Yeah,
So
she pulled her blanket over her head.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Lily was not there. She was sleeping. In her sleep, she blamed things on Elliot. Poor little guy can't catch a break. So we made it to Knoxville, ate breakfast, bought the kids 2 toys, like 1 toy each, because I wanted to kill a gift card. And Lily took forever to pick out what she wanted, and she ended up settling on one of those water toys where you push a button and you try to get the rings on the little pegs. Elliot picked out a train that was metal and heavy and $13. And we're like, you know what? Whatever. It's blue. It's Thomas. Enjoy it.
I don't think it was Thomas.
It was not Thomas, but it was blue, so he thought it was Thomas. 10 minutes after we get on the road, we hear some noise. What's that? The train makes noise.
Yeah, the train does make noise. Yep.
Joe's sister hated it. I was not a fan, but I dealt with it.
I ignored it. I mean,
but that train entertained him almost the whole way down. I was pulling stuff out of the entertainment bag for Lily. And Elliot was like, nope, I got my train. So that worked out in our favor. Except, so like 10-ish minutes after we got on the road, Lily dropped her phone. Because it was in the shape of a phone. And she was like, my unicorn toy, or like my phone. And we're like, well, we're not stopping because we just hit the road. The next time we stop, we'll get it. And it was literally every time we stopped, we got that phone and we handed it back to her. And less than 10 minutes after getting back on the road, it was in the car somewhere on the floor. Normally between her seat and the door where nobody else can get it.
Yeah, I mean, I have pretty long arms, so typically when they drop something like in the middle, like in between their 2 seats, I can get it.
Yeah.
If I go back in, or you can get it even.
Well, and if it is critical enough, I will put my life into my own hands and find creative ways to get the stuff to give to the kids. This was not an instance of something needed to be done. It's like, you got other stuff to keep you entertained, girlfriend. You'll be fine.
Well, to your point, she always dropped it she sits behind the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And it's between the door and her car seat.
Yeah.
Which, if you're in the passenger, you can't reach that.
No.
Even if you take off, even if you are creative.
Though my favorite was one of the times she couldn't find it. And she's like, I dropped it or something. I don't know where it went. We lost it. Like, it's gone. Oh my goodness. I was like, girlfriend, I did not hand it to you until the door closed. Because every time you get it, you drop it. So I made sure that door was closed so it wouldn't get dropped out the door. She gets out of her car seat. It was behind her butt. She was sitting on it. Like, I can't find that for you.
She was sitting on it.
Yeah. Have awareness. So our initial ETA, we'll say when we left Cracker Barrel to get to the house, because that was when we finally put in that we were going to the house and not to Cracker Barrel, because all the other stops were just going to be based on whatever anybody else needed. The plan was to always get to Knoxville without stopping and then figure it out from there, because I didn't have time to plan anything else. We were going to get to the house at 2:15. We ended up getting into the house at like 5:30.
It was a little before 6. It was like 5:45, 6.
Way better than last time. when we drove down with a 12-week, well, no, he would have been like a 10-ish week old and
Was he 8 weeks?
an 18-month-old. No, because my maternity leave was 12 weeks. So it would have been like 10 or 11 weeks old.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, because the last time we drove down, I want to say we got to the house at like 7. Maybe it was like 6:30 at the best.
I don't think we left as early.
We did not. But that last hour was miserable. So on the way down, at some point between our stops, Joe's brother had passed us. And they text us and say, hey, we're stuck in this traffic. We're pretty sure there's an accident in front of us. And, oh, hey, now traffic's completely stopped. And, like, people are getting out of their cars and, like, people are arguing with each other.
Was this in North Carolina or South Carolina? I think this was in South Carolina.
I want to say it was South Carolina.
Like the border of North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, we hadn't been super far into South Carolina. They hadn't been super far into South Carolina yet. Well, no, they were getting pretty close to 20. So they've been in South Carolina for a while. And so we hadn't had lunch yet. Our GPS tells us to reroute. Unfortunately, it tells us to reroute like an exit later than it should have. Because traffic has backed up past that exit at that point. So we have to sit in traffic for a little bit.
It was bad. I mean, and there is construction.
Yeah, so much construction. It was like, construction for the next 15 miles. And then like 14 miles later, construction for the next 5 miles. And I'm like, wow, how much construction is there going to be? The answer was a lot. So we got off the highway, got lunch at a Sonic while the kids were napping.
I think that was my first time eating at a Sonic.
It was my first time at a Sonic in forever. Was way better than I expected. We're probably going to hit up Sonic maybe once in a blue moon now instead of never that we currently do.
I don't know where one is.
I drove by one today with kids. There's one on Harrison up by Dent.
Oh.
It's new. And then we took some wonky way to get back onto the highway. I had no idea where we were, no idea where we were going. I'm like, the GPS just knows we're going to this house. We'll get there when we get there.
I mean, we use Waze. I mean, it told everyone.
Yeah, it told a lot of people to go that way. So
we were
a little more crazy when we got closer to the highway.
I mean, there was a line to get onto the highway.
Yeah. And then like soon after we got back on the highway, I pulled us off the highway to get gas. And I was like, because traffic kept being stop and go. For no discernible reason other than people don't know how to drive at consistent speed. So people would be speeding up too fast. They'd have to slow down too much because there'd be more cars there. So we stopped and get gas. And I was like, okay, well, let's look at the different ways that we can take to get there. And, this way's 10 minutes more, if even. It might have even only been like 3 minutes more. But it's going to be all these state routes instead of the highway. And that definitely helped out a lot because there was like nobody. So I just went whatever speed the locals went. If the locals slowed down, I slowed down. If the locals sped up, I sped up. I did not pass the locals on purpose.
Yeah, the thing about Myrtle Beach is, especially this time of year, there's one main road.
Yeah, there's one main road in, and there's like a good 20 or 30 mile stretch because we did it on the way out. There's like a good 20 or 30 mile stretch where that is the only way to get to North Myrtle Beach, Garden City, Surfside, Murrells Inlet, like a whole slew of very popular beaches to go to. And it's a 2-lane highway.
2-lane highway, and check-in is 4:00.
Yeah.
Which is if you leave Cincinnati at a reasonable time and you get to...
And you don't make like super long stops.
And you don't have 2 kids. And
two small children and a Jenna.
And a Jenna, yeah. You're pretty much getting there at 4:00, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's getting there at 4:00 to get to their condo, to get to their hotel, because check-in is 4:00, right? So traffic is there's a lot of traffic. But we went the back roads, like these crazy small. I don't want to say dirt roads, but
they were not dirt roads. Our friend,
they were actual roads for sure.
So our friend who is from Cincinnati and now lives in Atlanta would say that we took the most west side of Cincinnati way to get there. Because when we hung out with them in Atlanta, they wanted to give us their Peach Pass so we could like do the expensive lane where it's like, oh, hey, if you pay at rush hour, if you pay $5, you can use this lane and there's like no traffic. But if there is like no traffic, it's like 10 cents to use this lane. They're like, oh, use our car with Peach Pass and you can just do that. We're like, nah, we'll just use the GPS. And it was just like, well, how did you get there so quickly? Oh, we took this state route to that state route to this other state route. And then we got there in like half an hour. They're like, it should have taken you at least 40 minutes to get there. And they're like, that is the most west side of Cincinnati way to get anywhere. And I'm like, it's what the GPS said. I don't really care as long as I get there quickly. So got there. Like we got there early enough that we like had an hour-ish to unpack the car and have like unnecessary conversations about where to order pizza from. I'm like, I literally don't care. Just order pizza and we will eat it.
Well, they were arguing because DoorDash wouldn't do it.
So something was going on with DoorDash. Like the place that they wanted to eat at didn't have DoorDash. They tried to call a company, but that company just kept being busy.
All the tourists come in at the same time.
And they don't want to cook anything the first day, so they just order pizza. We knew this was going to happen. We were the only two not surprised. I'm like, what did you guys expect?
Going back to the car ride, something that I want to put into the record. I guess, I purchased a tablet for the kids. And that's how I figured out a way to telecast it to our TVs. And that's how we stream content. But also, really smart. We joined the Disney movie club or whatever back before we had kids.
That was like 7 or 8 years ago, if not close to 10 years ago at this point. Yeah,
so we bought a bunch of the classic movies, and back then, before Disney Plus, when you bought a Disney movie on Blu-ray, DVD, it typically came with a digital version of that movie. So I figured out how to put that digital copy on the tablet, and we had Disney movies without having Disney Plus.
And we didn't pull out the tablet for the kids until about 2 hours left in our trip.
It was 90 minutes because
because we played Monsters Inc. because Monsters Inc. is like 75 minutes, and then we needed to find a way to kill like another 15 minutes.
I think Monsters Inc. is 90 minutes, actually.
Yeah. I want to say it was like 2 hours because we picked Monsters Inc. and then we knew we would have to supplement it with something else if we wanted to keep the tablet going. But it wasn't like we constantly had the tablet going this time. I played like 3 or 4 movies. Well, I played probably at least 2 movies for Lily the last time we went down. But she was 18 months old. It's not a whole heck of a lot you can do to keep an 18-month-old entertained in their car seat.
I don't remember that. Did you?
I held the tablet, and I think it was my iPad mini.
You held your iPad mini?
Yeah, because I like...
What movie would it have been?
Lilo and Stitch and something else.
Oh, so we did.
Because I was trying to download Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, from Disney Plus.
Yeah, because I had downloaded stuff before we left, but then Disney Plus updated and was like, "Oh, nah, fam, you didn't do that. You need to do that again." So we're driving through the mountains, and I'm trying to create a hotspot with my phone in the mountains so I can download a movie onto the tablet so I can then play it.
That was awful.
It was chaos. 0 out of 10 do not recommend.
We should have Lilo and Stitch on digital copy, but I don't.
Well, now I now know how to get into a Disney Plus account. So, worst case scenario, that's what we pull up.
well, they're being strict about that, so that's probably not going to work anymore.
Nobody else uses that Disney Plus account. I don't know why they don't. I told your mom she needs to look at all the stuff she's spending money on because she just don't know. And she could save so much money.
Anyway.
Or we could save money by using her money.
I don't want a Disney Plus account.
So we made it down there. The kids were super stoked about bunk beds and wanted to sleep in the top bunk the first night. And I was like, nope. This is a strange place. And it's your first time sleeping here. You got to sleep on the bottom bunk. Because I don't want a kid trying to get out of bed to get a glass of milk in the middle of the night and falling off the top bunk because you forgot that you're not at your room. But the kids did really good with the bunk beds. Elliot fell off once the first day. Actually, I think it was the first night.
He did?
Yeah. He fell off once. And it was when he was going up the stairs without any supervision because he wasn't listening. And then he was fine.
I don't remember.
He figured it out.
I don't remember that.
You were not anywhere near him. Otherwise, those bunk beds would have been set on fire or something. But so they did spend, there was one night where they both slept in the top bunk, I think. Did they ever sleep in the top bunk for you? Elliot wanted to sleep in the top bunk one night. They hung out in the top bunk a lot.
Yeah.
But Lily only slept in the top bunk 1 or 2 nights. And she hasn't asked us to flip her bed since we got back from vacation. She asked us while we were on vacation. And I said we could flip it on Sunday if she remembers to ask us because we're not going to have the energy to flip it on Saturday when we get back. And she has not asked to have her bunk flipped yet.
Elliot wanted to sleep on the top bunk, and I said, okay. And then he said, I want to sleep on the bottom bunk with me.
Yeah.
With you.
And that's essentially what he did one night with me.
Yeah.
Except then he slept.
He changed his mind.
He wanted to sleep in the bottom bunk of the bed that Lily was sleeping in. So they both slept in the same bed one night, which was really cute. But yes, the kids did really good with bunk beds. We had a room with a balcony, which was nice. Because we got, I guess, what was technically the master bedroom. Because it was on the 2nd/3rd floor. Because of all these beach houses, the first floor is non-existent. It's a carport. Your second floor is your main hangout space.
Yeah.
And there was a bedroom down there with the king size bed. So that immediately went to Joe's parents, so they wouldn't have to do as many stairs. And then Joe and Josh did not have to fight over who got the big bedroom. They just said that we could have it, which was nice. So we had a balcony that I could hang out on occasionally.
Yeah, it wasn't as good of a view because we were on a random side street.
But you could hear the ocean and you could kind of see the ocean between houses.
But it was really close.
It was.
We were looking, we booked this back in December.
We were concerned we were going to be walking a while.
We were looking at the maps, and the maps that I saw,
it at least felt far.
I thought it was 2 or 3 blocks, which I guess in actuality it was.
It was probably a full block to get from the house to the other side of the public access.
The way it looked on the map, before you get to the beach entrance.
Yeah. Oh, it looked like it was going to be super far. It really was not that bad at all.
I mean, the beach entrance, that's another level of that was really long because that's basically a parking lot.
Yeah.
But so I don't count that. I just count the entrance, the house to the entrance. That distance looked like a couple of blocks on the map, which was I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work out. I was kind of concerned about that.
I got a wagon to make sure that we could easily haul stuff in and out, and I'm very glad that we did that because I thought it was gonna be farther away. But the kids didn't have any issues walking it the first day.
But you could see it. It was just, I would say, less than a football field away.
Yeah. because Americans will use anything but the metric system.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite jokes. Though my favorite quote from your sister that week was Sunday, when the four of us are getting ready to go to the beach. His parents have not yet decided whether or not they're going to join us. And then Jenna comes downstairs like 30 seconds after his parents decide they're going to go too. And they start getting in their swimsuits. And she's like, what? You guys are going to go to the beach without me? And I'm like, Jen, just get yourself ready, grab your chair, and just come join us. Like, we're not that far away. You'll be fine. Fortunately for her, we were slower than we wanted to be. And so by the time she was ready, we were finally going downstairs. And so we get out the driveway and we turn right. And she's like, oh yeah, I totally would have turned left. And I'm like, you can literally see the ocean if you look down, if you go out onto the street and you look right. You can see the beach access. You can see the ocean. And I'm like, girl, if you go more than 30 steps out of this house and you do not see the ocean, you have gone in the wrong direction. Turn around and try again. Like, yeah, we're not beachfront, but we are like 4 or 5 like house lots in, even though it's like 8 to 10 houses, because all the house lots are now split in two. Because it's like you have 113A and 113B, because they took a 1-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, tore it down, and built 2 3-story, 4-bedroom houses.
Yeah, these houses aren't wide.
They're shotgun houses.
Yeah, they're deep, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and skinny.
Yeah. So they'll put 2 houses right next to each other on what was initially one house property, so they can cram more in. But yeah, it was a really nice house. The pool was really nice. The kids really enjoyed that. The kids loved playing in the sand. We went to the beach every day we were there. So we had 6 days in a row on the beach, at least an hour every day.
Yes.
So many sand toys. I think we only had I want to say like Sunday was the only day we had any kind of tears, and they weren't very long. And it was because of salt water and then like because of sand. And it's like, well, now you know, don't do those things because you can't. Or you make poor decisions, then everything's going to be mouthfuls of sand. Can't help you out with that.
Yeah, Elliot loved the sand. Mm-hmm. Elliot especially loved the sand.
Yeah, all they would do was dig. Like, we made sandcastles one day, and they weren't super into it. Elliot was into build it up and then smush it, and then build it up and then smush it. But Lily wasn't super into it. She just kind of wanted to hang out.
She liked searching for seashells.
Yeah. So like 3 or 4 days in was when we started searching for seashells, and she was way into that.
Yeah. And the kites too.
Yeah.
Of course, the kite was a dollar store kite.
Yep.
And it broke immediately.
Elliot's made it and did really good. But we only pulled him out one day. We like half-heartedly attempted to get the kids to nap on the beach one day, but that didn't work. Joe's parents were super nice. Though there were many reasons why they were super nice, and they had the kids for nap time happy hour.
Yes.
Pretty much every day. Now, when it was, I don't know how funny it was, how funny you thought it was. I was, because Sunday, we got back from the beach. The kids are saying that they're tired. We ate some lunch. Joe's mom looks at us and she's like, well, if you guys like want to go to a bar or something, I'll watch the kids for nap time. And like, I was in like comfy lounge around the house while the kids sleep clothes. I run upstairs, fix my hair, put in my contacts, put on a dress, and come downstairs all in like 4 minutes. And I'm like, okay, Joe, let's go. You don't have to tell me once or tell me twice.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was when we went to we bar hopped.
Yeah, we went to Neil and Pam's and then Scotty's Surfside Bar or something like that. Because we drove down to the Surfside Pier, walked the pier, found a place to get some drinks and some snacks, then went to another place to get some more drinks.
Yeah, the second place was on the beach.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So it was nice. Both.
What was nice location-wise, it was definitely a dive bar.
They were definitely dive bars for sure. None of these places have draft.
No, it was all bottles and cans, which was weird.
Yeah.
Until we got to Merle's Inlet, and then they had some draft. So we did. So at some point on Sunday, I want to say it was after nap time, we're hanging out in the pool, and there's a step in the deck to get from the parents' bedroom down to the pool. And Joe's mom misses a step and messes up her knee that she had already slightly messed up.
Yeah, we think it's a meniscus
I think it's a meniscus tear.
issue.
We got her to rest a bit.
I don't know if it's a tear, but we didn't know at the time.
Yeah. So when we were in Siesta Key, she had an issue with, she claims it was her other knee. And she knows better than I do, so it probably was. But she just she powered through it, and eventually after vacation it got better. But this time it was really, really bad. So, because she was having issues doing just about anything.
And it was a random step too. Like, if I was the owner of the property, like I would put like
caution, like yellow tape or something.
I would spray paint it yellow, like that ledge yellow. Or red.
Something.
I would do something for sure.
Definitely not the property's fault. It was just a frustrating situation. So her and...
No, I wasn't blaming anyone. I was just saying, like, it was an inconvenient... It was a random step.
Mm-hmm. So her and Joe's dad went to the ER that night to get evaluated. They took x-rays, and they're like, yeah, we probably won't see anything on the x-rays, but we'll try. And just gave her some pain meds and a better brace and crutches, which it was hilarious trying to see her use crutches. And then on Monday, we drug her butt to the beach. She wanted to go. She insisted she could go.
I'm sure it was very comical.
It was.
Like to the person, like, watching from the distance, I'm sure it was very funny.
Because really, it's like half the distance from the door of the house to where we were sitting on the beach was just to get to the public access. Like the public access stairs. Not, if even. So Joe and myself went down with the kids, set up the stuff, sent this Joe back, and sent the other Joe to the public access stairs to wait for her to get dropped off by the van. Because it was like he drove her like 6 houses down the block, dropped her off at the public access, and then went back. And then just watching her and your dad try to get her to her chair under the umbrella was pretty slow. I think you made it back before she got to the chair.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lapped her. But I don't know if she took a break, like, at the stairs.
I think she did take a break at the stairs.
Because there is a place to sit down and stuff.
So we were very much keeping an eye on her. The next day we convinced her to just hang out at the house, which she was very grateful for. And then like also was like bummed about because that was the day we actually built sandcastles, and she like wanted to see lots of sandcastle building. Our kids are 3 and 4. There's only so much that you can make them do. I'm not going to fight for them to have a sandcastle competition on the beach during vacation.
I took video.
Yeah, we took video. We sent pictures. Because it was like every 10 minutes, send more pictures of the children. And I'm like, well, okay. We're trying to have fun too.
Yeah.
One day, Joe's sister was very insistent that her and her dad were going to go play putt-putt, and it was just going to be her and her dad because they were going to golf together. No one else could join them. So we decided to do that during nap time, and we left the kids with Joe's mom. Everybody did good. It was fine. And we had them drop us off at Southern Hops Tap Room in Murrells Inlet. And we got to hang out at that tap room for, what was it, like 2 hours?
We were there for a while.
Yeah. Enough to have I think I had like 3 beers.
I think I had 3 or 4, yeah.
Because we had an Uber. We just did not know when the Uber was going to show up. So we got pizza. They had really fancy pizza.
So this was a second location.
Yeah, it was their second location. Because I asked her, we kind of asked her what the deal was, and she didn't really have an answer for that. Asked her how long they had been open, and I want to say, I should probably look this up. I want to say that their main location had been open for 14 years.
It was quite a while. Well, yeah, it was quite a while. I don't know how long exactly.
But they, the tap room that we were in had only been open for maybe 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Oh, so it's because they're located in Florence, South Carolina. They do not have a whole heck of a lot of information on their website.
They were definitely a more seasoned brewery.
Yeah. And it wasn't a tap room either. It was like an auxiliary location because they had fermenters there, and they were definitely doing work in the brew house while we were there.
I think there wasn't very many patrons. I think to your point, I think it was mostly workers working.
Yeah. I mean, we were also there from
3
2 to 4:30 or something like that, where it was not hours where people would typically be out drinking or eating or anything like that.
But yeah, I mean, we saw the workers working.
Yeah.
So doing the brew house stuff. It wasn't a fake.
It wasn't
fake fermenters.
BJ's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Rest in peace, BJ's.
Yeah. I got a pizza that had peaches and arugula and a lot of delicious things on it.
And then you sent it to the group, and everyone made fun of you.
Yeah,
as they should.
Yeah, Noam was like, unless if you're dining with a rabbit, I think someone mistakenly threw a salad on your pizza. And it was still really good.
He had peaches. People get pissed when you put pineapple on pizza.
So the bartender said, she's like, oh, this is our special. And I'm super excited about it because they did it last year, and I was really hoping they were going to bring it back this year. And it was good. I enjoyed it. The peaches didn't really taste because pineapple tastes super sweet and super juicy. Mm-hmm. The peaches didn't taste super sweet or super crazy juicy. They were just there.
All right. So I opened up a new beer, and this was from our adventures today, which we'll eventually get to maybe.
We'll see.
Municipal Brew Works Midnight Cut Porter. I was told it was a chocolate porter, but it just says an American robust porter. And the description says, from the out of the shadows, this roast porter pours like a dream and highlights everything you would want from the magnificent style. Aromas and notes of roasted coffee and dark chocolate combined with a wisp of slight smokiness to create a beer with depth. I can't say that.
Depth.
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 Depth. I thought you were like trying to say like daft or deft. No, it's depth, like deep.
Whatever. That displays what a porter should be. Enjoy and cheers. But yeah, Southern Hops Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
They had good pizza. It was decent pizza. I mean, I have no complaints.
Southern Hops has been around since 2010. I had to find an article. Like, they don't have any of this on their website, but I had to find an article from 2018. Well. And now they're going to close me out because I'm not a subscriber.
Is it the USA Today network?
No, it's some South Carolina Now, not even like national publication. But yeah, so we went to Municipal today.
Yeah, this is nice. It's tasty. It's roasty. It's it complements the Rausch beer that I just had.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I picked it.
Yeah. So partially due to Joe's mom injuring her leg and partially due to nap time happy hour being a thing, the kids didn't really leave the house that much. On my birthday, we did a crazy stupid thing. And we walked the beach to Surfside Pier, which was like 3/4 of a mile-ish away.
I feel like it was longer than that.
With children, it feels more like 1.5 miles. Because they like zigzag and backtrack like dogs do. Except you have to do those things with them as opposed to dogs. Like when we took the dogs on a 3-mile hike, they probably did something closer to 4 to 5 miles.
They had a longer leash too.
Yeah. So we walked to get ice cream. We sat on the pier while we ate the ice cream. Got a picture of Lily on the pier with everything all dark. And then we had to make the call. Do we walk back on the beach or do we walk back on the road? And I know we made the right call because we said we'll walk back on the road. Because we weren't sure if we would be able to figure out which public access was our public access.
Right. Because it was dark at this point.
Yeah, it was starting to get dark at this point. And we didn't want to have to deal with the sand because we knew we could go faster on the sidewalk. Relatively speaking. Elliot walked the whole way there. I don't even know if he walked at all on the way back. It was like every 3 streets because we were at Main Street and we had to make it to like 12th or 15th Street or something like that. It was every 3 streets. It'd be like, okay, Joe, you get a break. I will carry him.
It was more than that. Yeah.
And then
I carried him halfway. You carried him the other halfway.
Yeah.
Lily walked though.
Lily walked the whole time. She did really good.
3-year-olds.
Yeah. You'd think that would mean that Lily slept in that next day. No. The kids were up by 6:30 every morning.
I mean, they passed out pretty quickly though.
Yeah. And we would usually be heading to the beach about 9 or 9:30 every morning as well. So by the time we were kind of all done with the beach, more people were showing up. And it was starting to get like hotter outside. Though the week that we were there, the weather was perfect.
It was extremely sunny.
It was sunny, but not super hot.
Blue clouds.
Blue skies.
Blue skies, like no clouds.
Yep.
Very little clouds.
The ocean was a little cold, but because we had the kids, it wasn't like we were able to just like float for half an hour like we did on previous vacations.
Yeah, I don't even think I went in the ocean. Like
no more than up to your waist.
Deep in the like my ankle. Like
you went up to your waist a few times, but not very much. Because every once in a while I'd look over and like the kid, if like somebody else had the kids, you might be like 20 feet into the ocean. So I mean, it was nice because like you run in, you get wet, you get cooled off a bit, but then you can go back to doing whatever it was you were doing. Because we have to use the zinc oxide sunscreen because I'm allergic to everything else. The kids don't really look super tan. they didn't really get sunburnt. Like Lily got a little bit on her nose one day and Elliot got a little bit on his nose one day. The worst thing was 2 days in a row, I had Lily's hair in some kind of fashion where there was a part in it and her part burned.
Oh, yeah.
Because that started flaking this week.
It was peeling, yeah. Let's see. I didn't get burnt. I mean, I wore a shirt.
Yeah.
Which in the past, I think the last time I started doing that because I got a really bad rash.
Yeah. When you're so blonde and that like you're not like redhead levels of will burn, but your skin is definitely more sensitive than mine is. The only place I burned was the place that I thought that Joe had applied sunscreen and Joe thought that I had applied sunscreen and neither of us had applied sunscreen there. But it wasn't even like a burn. Like even for being out in the sun for like an hour, it was just, oh, hey, this is a little bit pink. And the next day it's totally fine. Because once I base tan, I'm usually good for the rest of the summer.
Yeah. And even, well, I guess the first time we all went when Elliot was little, with the entire family, the first time we went with everyone, like Josh's wife and everyone, I feel like his wife got burnt.
She did.
The first day, maybe?
Yeah.
But we didn't have any incidents like that.
I think Jenna might have had something, but I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah.
She's an adult. She can take care of herself.
The only thing that was crazy was my mom's knee.
Yeah.
And I feel like it got
better, partially because we
it
it
went in waves. I feel like like one day it seemed better, and then the next day it was like really swollen or whatever.
Yeah,
and she was icing it a lot. And then the day after that it seemed fine. And then the day after that it was, But that's what happens when you have an injury and you're on vacation and you want to do things.
You want to get the most out of your vacation. But now it's hard to do
you
that.
you don't follow the directions of the doctor.
Yeah. So
which I understand. I mean, I wouldn't, if that happened to me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the kids spent a lot of time out in the sun. We had to make them come into the shade to drink water. Be like, you have to go in and take 3 sips of water, and then you can go back out to playing. Well, I don't want it. Just 3 sips of water. And then by the time you get him to sit down for 30 seconds, I'm hungry. And you just throw a snack pack at them, and they ate a lot of snack packs, mostly Scooby snacks and Cheez-Its.
Yes.
Lily
made a friend.
She did. So one day she made a friend, and then we never saw the girl again. We saw our family, but I guess, I don't know. Whatevs. She might not have liked the beach as much as Lily did. Because all the kids wanted to do was hang out on the beach. And we did that as much as we could.
Yeah, they loved it.
Mm-hmm. And the pool. They loved the pool as well. They don't know how to swim yet. We got to work on that. But they liked hanging out in the pool with all their family.
Yeah, life vests. Mm-hmm. They had floaties. So many floaties.
So many floaties. And then we had to deflate them all on Friday. It was a lot of work. We went out to dinner twice. Once was to a pretty bougie restaurant that we didn't know was as bougie as it was until we had already like made reservations and shown up, and well, we're here now, so it is what it is. It was a really good meal though. The scallops that your mom got were delicious because I finished those for her.
She didn't.
I don't get why she didn't like them. They were so good.
I'm not a seafood person, so.
I got fish anytime I could. So we did that, and we got some pictures there. We got pictures on the beach one night, and then Friday night. Was that Friday night? Yeah. Friday night we went to a place called The Hangout in Broadway on the beach. which was an experience.
It was unlike anything I've ever been to before, for sure.
They have a few locations. The kids had a blast.
We found this via TikTok.
Yeah.
Not us.
We did not find it via TikTok.
But someone...
My sister-in-law found it via TikTok and was like, we're going here for dinner. You guys want to join us? You can. If not, that's also fine. And we're like, yeah, we don't really want to eat any of the food that's left over here. And we're not sure if there's enough for all of us to eat. So yeah, we'll go do that. There might have been enough for us to eat. But whatevs. They have a drink called a Shark Attack where like it's like shout at the whole restaurant anytime anyone orders one and everyone's supposed to yell Shark Attack.
Like every hour there's a show.
Yeah, every hour.
I guess it's entertainment.
The 45. There is you are putting on the entertainment for everyone else.
Yeah. They
start off with birthdays for that month and the next month. So of course it was right as we were getting our food was when all of this started. And yes. I'm like, how do they not have this where like our food hangs out for 5 or 10 minutes? And then they bring it out because like they were trying to figure out who got what. I actually found out that my food took forever to get there because your mom said, oh, that's not for our table. None of us ordered that. And I was like, it was my food. She just didn't think that I could have it because she thought it had mushrooms in it, but it did not. I had asked.
They were asked, they said something about this is like someone allergic to this. Like,
I don't know.
They asked something very weird, and I'm like...
I wasn't on that end of the table, but eventually I got my food. So it's, okay, so if it's your birthday, like stand up, and then stand on your chair, and then stand on your table, and now dance. And then if you're a mom, stand on your chair, and now stand on your table, and then dance.
They had a Jumbotron.
Yeah, and they had a Jumbotron, where like it was like a camera that was going through... like live, here are people that are doing this. And then it was, if you're a dad, get on your chair, get on your table. So Lily got on the table for Joe's mom because she obviously couldn't do that. And Elliot got on the table for Joe's dad because he also obviously could not do that. And Elliot had the best time ever. He was shaking his little booty all around. He was like, this is the best thing ever.
He was giggling quite a bit.
And then they have a foam party every hour on the 5. So there's like a full like 30-ish, 20 to 30-ish minutes of like stuff that goes on. We fortunately kept the kids away from the foam party.
And they built this big ass stage outside, and they had like live music.
Yep, they had live music that started at like 6, and we got there at 5 or something like that.
And this was at Broadway at the beach.
Yep.
And we've been there before twice.
Yeah, well, I don't think we... Well, yeah, so we've been there twice. We did not go the last time we went, though.
We went with...
We went with Matt, and we went with your family.
And the family back, probably 8 years ago. But...
try more like 13 years ago.
Oh, jeez. Oh, there you go then. Yeah, because we went to Siesta Key, and it was before Siesta Key, and you were pregnant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've been to Broadway at the beach before, and they remodeled it. Like I said, there's a random stage.
Yeah. I recognized, we didn't get to walk around Broadway at the beach a lot. I recognized the Cold Stone, and I recognized the strip of shops by the Cold Stone.
Yeah.
All of that stuff was still pretty much the same, because that's all by Margaritaville.
And there's because both times we went to Margaritaville.
Yeah.
We didn't go this time.
Yeah, but Hangout was a lot of fun. Just either pretend like you are not anything that they're calling up, or just super get into it. I always say get into it. It's only weird if you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, then you're the weirdo.
Yeah. I even got on the
he
table.
did. And at one point it's me, Joe's brother, and Joe's sister are on the table because we're all born in June. And I'm like Josh and myself are like moderately dancing, and Jenna's like dancing and the table starts shaking, and I'm like, oh my God, is this how we die? Is she going to take out the whole family? Because like that morning, Joe's mom was calling the airport like, okay, how do I get a wheelchair to pick me up and get me around the airport? Because I'm not going to be able to walk. So Friday is just throwing stuff into suitcases to then throw it into the car and try to pack as much stuff as possible. To then leave at 3:00 in the morning again. Because I want to say it was like Sunday. Joe's sister was like, so we're not going to be that crazy on the drive back home, right? And I'm like, no, we'll be a lot more chill. So we're going to leave at like 5 in the morning. Oh no, we're still leaving at 3:00 in the morning. We can just do like
Yes.
more stops. But yeah, like, no, we're leaving at 3:00 in the morning. So we get the car packed. We try to shove as much stuff in it as possible because somehow some of our stuff our amount of stuff has expanded. I did not do a heck of a lot of shopping like everybody else did.
You bought sand toys and stuff.
Oh, I did buy sand toys. That's
It
right.
was
I bought nicer sand toys. All my other sand toys were dollar store toys.
Well, it was all that stuff that we had trouble with.
Yeah.
Because they were loose.
Oh, and then 10 out
And
of 10,
awkward.
I recommend the little surfer dudes that I got off of Amazon. Way more money than I would want to spend on a beach toy. But we had more fun with them than the kids did. I think partially just because the kids are 3 and 4 and they're not super exciting toys. But like when the kids are like 8 and 9, that's going to be like their jam the whole time because they can do more stuff in the water with the toys. Because like we would just sit there and we would throw the toys in and watch them come back and then throw them in again. Way more than the kids did.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, and it worked.
It did. It was really cool.
Was this an Instagram ad?
It was. No, it wasn't. It wasn't an ad. It was like a recommendation from somebody. So probably like not a sponsor, but maybe a sponsor type deal. Like I think I could have like found a link in their bio, but I did not do that. I found it myself. Sorry, influencer, for not getting you that 2 cents or whatever. So yeah, that was really cool. So we put those back in all assembled instead of disassembled. Leave at 3:00 in the morning again. But this time we're driving to Asheville, which is 5-ish hours away. Might have even been like 5.5. Because we actually left at 3:00 in the morning, but we got there closer to 8 than we did to 7.
Yeah.
And that was with me like booking it. But we had to stop about an hour away from Asheville because I was like, I need to stretch. I need to get moving because I am starting to struggle bus. And then I was
we
good.
Switched, right?
No, we didn't switch until after breakfast. I normally don't trust you driving until after you have had your breakfast. Because like this morning, for example, I have a mini conversation with Joe. And then I like grab my water and I go to kiss him on the forehead and he is breathing like he is sleeping. And I'm pretty sure he has now fallen back asleep less than 30 seconds after talking to him. So until you've had breakfast, I do not trust you to drive in the middle of the night.
I don't remember this at all.
We know where Lily gets it from. So I drive us there. Joe drove more of the drive home than he did the drive down because I drove a lot of the drive down. But I was just like, let's just go. We're going. Pedal to the metal. We're just going to get there. Joe does all the mountain driving, though, which is really nice because I don't have to worry about that. We stopped at the Tennessee Welcome Center for a very long time because everybody decided whether or not they did or did not have to go to the bathroom after they had, in fact, gone to the bathroom. Kids got to run around for a little bit. They had fun.
Part of the milestones that we kind of just brushed up on way back in the beginning of the episode, Elliot is potty trained now.
Oh, yeah. He is super potty trained. Regressed a little bit since we got back from vacation, but nothing like super major.
Yeah.
So still doing super great.
I don't think we put them in underwear necessarily on the way down or the way back.
I put them in pull-ups on the way down and on the way back.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have to worry. So if somebody had an accident, we wouldn't have to be trying to dry out a car seat to then put their butt back in said car seat. They'd at least 95% of it would get absorbed, hopefully. So we stop at Buc-ee's on the way back because that's an experience. Thoughts on Buc-ee's?
Wow. Buc-ee's, yeah, it's like a giant it's like Costco or Sam's Club.
Except you can only buy small amounts of things and you don't need a membership.
Right. Yeah. The gas station it was like 200 gas pumps. I haven't seen.
They skip a bunch of numbers, but yeah,
it's a lot of
many pumps.
It's a lot of gas pumps. So it's supposed to. So let me back up. Buc-ee's is a Texas-based convenience store.
Yep.
Like gas station convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
But they're huge. Like
everything's bigger in Texas.
I mean, I guess. Mm-hmm. But you're talking like 200 gas pumps. You're talking full lunch, like beef brisket.
Yeah, full hot lunch. You can like even do customizable hot lunch instead of just the grab and go.
It's
home decor, clothing.
There are camp chairs. We stopped at the one in Richmond, Kentucky, and there are camp chairs.
We purposely stopped at that one so we would be most of the way home at that point.
Yeah, and we stopped at one on the way down too, but I didn't go.
Lily and myself went in to go potty with no wallet and then immediately came out.
Yeah, but they have beef brisket. Like they have barbecue. They have
hot grab and go sandwiches.
Yeah,
hot grab and go chips.
Like elevated, like not. This isn't like Speedway food.
You're not concerned about whether or not it's been sitting on a roller for the last 4 hours because they're literally making it in front of you.
And so yeah, we spent probably a half hour maybe in this. We didn't.
We could have spent a lot more time there.
I mean, they had an entire department store too, like clothes, and the kids got charms for their Crocs.
We bought a pack of 5 charms to split between the 2 children.
Yeah.
And then...
That was a mistake.
Well, I had already promised one to Lily, and then Joe asked Elliot which 2 he wanted, and one of those was one that Lily had already claimed. And then it was just waterworks. And I'm like, you know what? We got to pump gas anyway. It was like $4. Joe, buy another one while we pump gas because I ain't dealing with this for the next 2 hours / the next 4 months of why does Sissy have the thing that I want or vice versa. So the kids all have a full set of 5 Buc-ee charms between their 2 shoes, like their 2 sets of shoes each. One of them that says I heart Buc-ee's and is a rectangle Lily calls candy. Yeah. The other ones are squirrels, and I'm like, they're beavers, honey. It's Buc-ee's a beaver.
Yeah. I guess you can kind of compare it to a Wawa.
Maybe I haven't been inside a Wawa, so I don't know.
So there's a set of convenience stores in Pennsylvania. I think that's Wawa, and then there's one on the West Coast.
I know Quick Trip, because Quick Trip comes up in a lot of my Midwestern comedians.
No,
stuff,
it's not Quick Trip. There's Wawa, and then there's another one that's West Coast. We don't have anything like that in Ohio.
No, we don't.
Is it Sheets?
We have Sheets.
No, I don't think it's Sheets.
Yeah. List of gas station chains in North America.
I didn't think it was Sheets, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. Yeah, but Joe's mom at one point she called it Boosie's or something like that. And then we just all laughed. It's are you guys going to stop at Boosie's on your way home? Buc-ee's? Yes. And then we all delve into a fit of giggles. But yeah, because we only stopped. I mean, technically we stopped at 2, because Joe got gas while I ran inside with Lily. Because we had like just stopped, and Lily said she had to go potty, and I was like, we are not all getting out of this car, and I'm not bringing my wallet, so I can't buy you anything. We're going in and we're going out. But Joe's brother, they stopped at like 1 or 2 on the way down and 1 or 2 on the way back. Like they purposefully stopped at more. Yeah, I don't know. So we had, that was nice. Cause Joe was like, well, we stopped like, it was like 2:00-ish. Like it was enough where it was like, we were starting to get a little hangry, and Joe's like, does this place have food? And I'm like, yeah, that's why we haven't stopped yet. And it's warm food. So we both got brisket sandwiches. We got chips for the kids, which the kids mostly ate. Joe's sister got something. I'm not even sure. She was in the back of the van. We didn't really care. As long as she handed stuff to the kids when they needed it and didn't make too much noise, we were good. That was really funny because she started watching some movie and she starts crying, and the kids are like, Jenna, are you okay? And I like have to yell Jenna 4 times before she like takes out her earbuds, and she's like, what? I'm watching a movie. I'm like, oh. And like another point, she's like, no. And we're like, Jenna, are you okay? Well, she must be watching a movie because she's not paying. She hasn't like said anything to us.
She's not responding. Yeah.
But yeah, so we get,
the way back was a lot more chill, I feel like.
it was. And we didn't pull out the tablet at all for the kids on the way back. But we had like left Buc-ee's. We had maybe made it like 20-ish minutes down the road, and Elliot says he has to pee, or he has to go potty. And I'm like, okay, bud, we're almost home. Like, we'll be fine. Cause like we literally had all just gone to the bathroom. And then like 10 minutes later, he is in full blown tears, meltdown. I have to go potty. So we just pull up to a gas station. I think I did you buy something maybe? We might not have. Whoops-a-doodle.
Yeah, we were bad patrons.
Yeah, we stop. Joe gets out. He's like, well, everything was dry. And he went. And then Elliot and Lily both conked. And I was like, sweet. So they were sleeping for the rest of the drive home.
Yeah.
Joe's sister asked us whether or not we were going to drop her off at her house first. And I was like, well, 1, I can't do that because your stuff is towards the bottom of everything that is in the van. And 2, your car is at our house. So
yes.
You will have to figure out how to get your car back because we will not be helping with that. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, people broke into cars at your house. My car was at your house. Her doors were locked. It was fine. It was just like the random, like, group of hooligans came through the neighborhood, started opening doors. If your door was unlocked, they were going to open your door and see what kind of change and stuff you had. And if your garage door opener was in there, there was like a 10% chance they would open up your garage and see what they could get out of that. So that happened while we were on vacation.
Yeah, I saw.
Got all those notifications, and I was like, well, glad we're not there. Have fun with that one.
My car was in the garage.
Yeah.
So.
That was all that mattered.
Yep.
Yeah, so we made it home, unloaded the car, just set Jenna's stuff outside of her car and said, have fun.
We got lectured by our dog.
It was a good half hour before Clara stopped barking at us. Meanwhile, like the kids are napping in the car. So I'm just like unloading stuff around the children, like, please just stay sleeping.
Like she's like lecturing me.
Yeah. Where have you been?
She's Mrs. Weasley. That's who she is.
There was some Instagram, TikTok trend that started where people would take that audio from Chamber of Secrets and interpose it with their dog. And I'm like, it's Clara. She yelled at us today because we went out to a brewery. And oh my goodness, you pet a dog and I smelled it. I'm going to kill you or something. I don't know. She won't. Is
she over there? Is our producer even here producing?
I don't think so.
Is that why the audio didn't work? She has one job.
I mean, her job is to keep your feet warm. But she's not even doing that right now. So
No, she's not.
yeah. So we're still in the process of unpacking. There's a pile of beach stuff in the garage that needs to get put up on the shelf.
We still have moving boxes from the move.
We do still have moving boxes everywhere.
Like in the front room. So yeah.
Our suitcase full of clean clothes still needs to be distributed, but there's like 25% of the clothes in there that used to be in there. I redistributed a few more things from that today. Maybe I'll finish up that tomorrow. I doubt it. And if you ask Lily what her favorite part about vacation is, she'll say everything. Elliot was adorable on the beach. So I got this little table from IKEA that's metal and super hollow. Like it's got...
And you can fold it up.
It can fold up. It's got a bunch of mesh on it, so like it doesn't hold sand. And I got it to like have snacks and stuff on. Well, we set it next to the kids' tables, and that's what we put their water to drink on. Well, Elliot positions himself so the little hanging baskets on the side that are for like pencils or whatever, he can put his feet on it. So he leans back in his camp chair, puts his feet in this little pocket, and is just chillaxing on the beach. Like a Cheez-It in one hand, a Pringle in the other, like living his best life in the shade. And he did that at least 5 out of the 6 days we were on the beach.
Because
so cute.
We had like a little tent for them. Did we say that?
Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't. So we had 2 beach umbrellas. We had a giant, would not necessarily recommend, but it did what it was supposed to do. It was just... Because of the rules at the beach, we couldn't put the giant tent next to the umbrellas. Because the umbrellas we tried to put as close to the water line as we could.
Yeah, we got yelled at by some dudes in a gator.
What was the beach patrol? That we had to put it back closer to the houses, which I mean makes sense. But now it's like there's a good 10 yards between, if not more, between where we have the umbrellas set up and where that big tent's going to go. And the big tent and that like 30 yards makes a huge difference in the temperature of the beach because the sand is dry, so it's very reflective. And so there's like a 5-degree difference between being under the umbrellas and being under the tent. And then there's like a 10-degree difference between being outside of the umbrellas and being outside of the tent on both your feet and just your body in general.
Yeah.
So we set up that tent 2 days. I think I was the only person that ever sat under it. Because I was like, it's here. I'm going to sit under it. Like, dang it. I set this thing up. We going to use it. Or at least say that we used it.
Yeah. What? How would you describe the fabric of the tent? It was like this.
It's like that. It's like your sports tech material, but more stretchy. It's like the sports tech t-shirts.
It was extremely stretchy.
Yeah.
And you had to... It did have poles, but the thing that was holding it down was there was like a sack on each corner.
So
that you would
it
fill
had
with sand.
it was essentially an octopus. There were 2 legs that came out of each corner.
Yeah.
And you filled the end of the legs with sand as your weights, and then you were supposed to lay it flat on the sand and then figure out where your 4 poles were supposed to go. Put your poles in the ground and then lift up your tent and secure it with bungee cords. And then it worked. It was weird. I don't like it.
It was flimsy, and the beach, of course, is windy. So
I mean
it was designed for that.
Yeah,
so.
and it stood up to all the wind. The ones that I really liked until the wind changed direction was they have some that have like pop-up tent poles where it just makes a big arch, and you stick that arch in the ground, and then there's a giant that was a bug, but it was a little bug. There's like a giant flag that comes off the back of it. So if you position it towards the wind is constantly blowing that back flag up, and that's what makes your shade. And then you have an anchor that you put down from the center towards the wind that holds it from blowing away or like blowing towards the ground. That was really cool until I saw one after the wind changed direction. And then it was just like a hot mess. I would have preferred that over this other thing. Now, we still have the other thing. If we go to the beach again, maybe we'll set it up. I don't know.
I prefer the umbrellas.
Yeah, I would have rather brought 2 more umbrellas and called it a day. I mean, we never really needed a whole lot more than like 2 umbrellas in the little pop-up tent that we had for the kids anyway, because there would never really be more than 4 people trying to be under the umbrellas at one time.
Yeah, I feel like the tent that we got for baby Elliot, now to the kids now, I feel like that was a really good investment.
Yeah, it seemed like a terrible, and maybe this other tent will be better when the kids are older, because the tent was like a terrible investment when both kids were young, because Elliot just wanted to be held the whole time, because we were hoping we could lay him under that and he would nap. But I mean, he was so little, he just wanted to be held the whole time anyway. And then Lily was 18 months old. All she wanted to do was move. So she wasn't going to sit in that tent. The only time she sat in the tent was when we had it set up next to the pool and she was eating snacks with her aunt. Otherwise, if it was on the beach, she didn't care about it. This time they did hang out in the tent for a little bit, but it would only be like after we said, hey, you have to go in and drink something. And then, oh, well, while I'm here, I'll eat some food.
It was guaranteed shade.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. And then we had the tent, not the tent, we had the umbrellas.
Yeah.
So, luckily they didn't yell at us for their tent.
Yeah, their tent was fine.
It was small enough that I guess it was okay.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, if we would have been closer to Surfside Pier, that says no canopies at all. So we wouldn't have been able to set it up if we were any closer to Surfside. And Myrtle Beach might be no canopies as well. I'm not sure. I mean, it's something that is relatively new to being at the beach, so regulations will change as they become more popular. But like they do take up a lot of space. And they are mildly annoying. But you need shade. So, because there was somebody that had like a traditional like shade canopy tent that they had one side of it blocked off to give them extra shade. And that was pretty nice. I was like, we could have brought down one of our canopies, but then I would have to worry about whether or not the canopy would still exist after vacation.
Yeah. All right. So I think we exhausted the vacation.
I believe we did.
I
got a really wicked tan line on my back. It's adorable. Maybe one day I'll show it.
No. No. Do you want to talk about our adventures today?
Sure.
In Hamilton.
Yeah. So I gave Joe a list of like 10 different things that we could do this weekend because it's Father's Day weekend. And he didn't really pick, so we picked for him. But he didn't say no, so it was fine. We almost went out last night, but then we were given free dinner. So we had hot tub time instead.
Yes.
And then
we went to Harrison.
Yeah, we went to Harrison.
Not Hamilton.
Yeah, not Hamilton. And so then this morning, we needed to mow the lawn. So Joe got to mow the backyard while I took the kids around town. We went to Lowe's to get a new pot because I need a bigger pot for a plant that Lily got me for Mother's Day. And we were going to buy a new...
It's not dead yet.
It's not dead yet. I'm very proud of myself. The goal was to get a new weed whacker attachment for our existing like lawn care setup. But they do not sell that brand at Lowe's. So then I had to go with the kids to Home Depot and then wait for somebody to open up the box so I could get a bushwhacker attachment because apparently you can't buy the weed whacker attachment on its own. And depending upon how that goes, Joe might also get a new weed whacker, like all kit and caboodle, as an extended Father's Day present. So happy Father's Day. Here's a bushwhacker.
I don't have... Well, I'm not going to say anything. Nope.
I'm going to let other people say things.
Nope.
So then we went to Kroger to try to get a case of Fretboard Light because Joe's dad will drink it. But they didn't have any. So I got a big case of Cincy Light instead as a consolation prize. And some other things that we needed, like Father's Day cards. And we come home and Joe's all done. We get the kids to rest for a while and we eat some lunch. And then we go out to Hamilton so we can Dora the Explorer. So we park in Municipal Brewworks parking lot, grab some Dora beers, and then head to Markham Park. And the kids run around the water feature of Markham Park for about an hour. Mm-hmm. Lily is shaking because a good portion of our swim stuff is at Joe's parents' house. So tomorrow my goal is to do an inventory of what's here versus what's there and figure out what's there that needs to come back here.
Well,
so we at least have some stuff here and some stuff there.
It should stay there. I mean, she needs a bathing suit there.
Well, no, she has 3 bathing suits.
Oh, she does.
Maybe 4.
She has 3 bathing suits at my mom's house?
I think so. Because I think I just all threw them in the same spot after vacation. And then that same spot moved to your mom's house. Well, your parents' house.
All right.
So I got it. We were using backup bathing suits that fortunately were still in the clean vacation bag.
Yeah, so she was wearing a bikini, but we put a shirt over her and shorts, and I think that was the problem.
It was keeping her too cold.
Yeah.
So once we pulled those off, she was fine. I mean, because part of it too is like she is blonde, so I don't want to risk her burning, and having to deal with that. So I try to keep her covered, and like all of her covers, like all of her long sleeve stuff is at Joe's parents' house. So I have to go through and make sure we have a set there and a set here.
Yeah.
So the kids had a blast running around the park, and then Lily said she was hungry, so we went to Municipal, got some more beers, and got some some quesadillas from the food truck. So the kids got nachos.
Chips. They got chips.
They
got chips and salsa, and the salsa was very spicy.
I would call it like a high medium for spice level. Like it wasn't a super burn, but like it would hit you after a little bit.
No, it was persistent. Like as you kept eating it, it was very persistent for sure.
Yeah.
And Lily, I watched her do this.
Lily loves spicy.
She loves spicy, but she completely dunked the entire chip in the salsa. And she purposely dropped it in so that it was saturated. Mm-hmm. And it sat there for like a minute. And
man.
And she took it out. And then she ate it. And she had a bad time.
As one would do if they did that.
Yeah. And on the way to Hamilton, because I don't want to confuse the two. It's Hamilton.
Yes.
We passed a sign that said world's best drinking water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
Is that true?
That's what the sign says.
But when I went up to the bar and I asked for water, they gave me a bottle of water.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
I didn't get to taste the world's best drinking water. But Lily was very grateful that I gave her more water.
Yeah.
Because we had sippy cups full of ice water. Mm-hmm. So she drank that plus the full bottle of water. I
think she only drank like half of the bottle of water.
Okay.
Because her sippy cup was still pretty full. Because we filled it back up, I think. I don't remember.
No, I transferred it.
Yeah.
For the car ride.
Yeah.
So she drank a lot of water.
Yeah.
And she was having a bad time with the salsa.
She loves spicy though, which like your family was like super shocked about on vacation because one of the nights we had homemade skyline, and Lily's like, "Can I have hot sauce?" And your parents are like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here you go, girlfriend. Here's some hot sauce."
Well, even yesterday we went, like you said, we went to my mom and dad's house for dinner after work and stuff, and we stopped on the way. We stopped at Kroger, and I got spicy mustard.
Oh yeah, because I told Joe to pick up some spicy mustard because I knew that we would want spicy mustard, and there was a very good chance that Lily would ask for spicy mustard.
And she did.
Yep. And so, but I mean, your dad had some too. So I was like, here, this is for your house, mostly for Lily, but you guys can have it too.
Yeah.
Like have a stash of hot stuff here because while Caroline's spicy peppers are starting to become in season, they are probably a smidge too spicy for Lily. We shall see.
Oh yeah, we tried one of them the other day too.
This is your PSA that the Papa John's hot peppers are not hot banana peppers. They're pepperoncinis. Hot banana peppers are much hotter than pepperoncinis.
Yeah, we had a hard time with Caroline's peppers, but we're gonna try to preserve them
I'm gonna try to learn how to can.
I guess. Yeah, and then we'll save them for like chili or something.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy getting
like instead of like
pickled jalapenos because I'll put them on like burgers and stuff throughout the year. But like I've always bought them. I have not made them myself yet.
Yeah, we'll see because they're not good. Like if you just eat them.
Yeah, I have.
You have to like combine them with something.
Yeah, and I have 4 hot banana pepper plants that are doing really good. Like all 4 of them are doing really good.
Yeah. I
have 3 jalapeno plants where one of them is doing really good and the 2 of them are still hanging in there. So we'll see what they do. And then I have the should be snacking pepper this year, but we'll see whether or not that's the case. So I still have a mystery pepper plant. And then my chocolate bell pepper plant is doing really good. It's got like a bunch started on it. And Lily's like, chocolate. And I'm like, girlfriend, it just looks like chocolate. It doesn't taste like chocolate. And she's like, I don't care. Chocolate. And then the chocolate tomatoes chocolate cherry tomatoes are doing really good. And the 100 cherry tomatoes are doing okay, probably because I put 2 plants in one pot. And I should not have done that. And the peas are still doing something. I don't know. I'm probably never going to do peas again, at least not with my current setup.
What about the lettuce?
Oh, that all went past able to eat while we were on vacation. All my arugula plants or rocket lettuce plants have now sprouted flowers. So I don't know, man. I think we missed the window on that one. We did get some lettuce out of it though. So it wasn't a total loss. It's a learning experience.
So you think that's gone?
Yeah, I think we're done with lettuce.
All right.
We'll try again next year.
Anything else about that before we transition to something completely different?
Let's see here. The week coming back from vacation has been pretty good. Everybody's kind of getting into the roll of things. Joe's mom actually saw a doctor about her knee and is going to have some follow-up stuff with that. So that's exciting. Wednesday, we had an interesting time. Joe's sister fell off a table and fell on her butt and her head and now is complaining a lot about things hurting, which makes sense, but it got ruled out as anything major by medical professionals at an emergency room.
So she didn't have a concussion or
no
anything.
concussion, no broken bones, just lots of soreness.
Yes.
And so at some point after that, Lily hurt something. She hurt her ankle. I don't know how. She was mostly okay. Because she only complained about it like maybe 3 times, and she hasn't complained about it in a few days.
To me,
she's like,
she complained it to me once.
And I think she complained to me once. Maybe it was only twice. And she's like, I need to go to the hospital like Aunt Jenna because my ankle hurts. And I'm like, honey, no, you're fine. You haven't done anything that major. And then today I felt so terrible, but I don't know how I could have prevented it. While going into Kroger, I had the kids were 2 hands, 2 feet on one of the small carts instead of one of the big carts. And there is a lip to go from the asphalt to the concrete that is outside of Kroger that I was not aware existed. And the cart suddenly stopped. Both kids fell, but Lily was like on the front of the cart and Elliot was on the side. So Lily fell on her butt and Elliot just kind of fell like next to / on top of Lily. He didn't say boo. She said, ah. So I was like, okay, let's get out of like the road because mommy's still kind of like in the road. We'll go inside, get in the AC, see how everybody's doing. Everything was fine. And she's like, I hurt my butt like Aunt Jenna. Am I going to have to go to the hospital? And I'm like, let's give it an hour, girlfriend, and see how it goes. And she's maybe complained about that twice, but she's doing okay.
All right.
We're all very accident prone over here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I am. I'm kind of tired of it, to be honest. Like between the last 10 years has been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And if you are curious about that, we've talked about this in the past on previous episodes. But while we were on vacation, apparently aliens dropped. So, Caroline, you have the reading voice, so
okay.
You're gonna read this article about the aliens dropping, and I am a bit concerned and a bit disappointed in some of our friends for not disclosing some stuff, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay, this is an article from the New York Post. Aliens might be living among us disguised as humans or in a base inside the moon, according to new Harvard study. A new paper suggests extraterrestrials could also be living underground or in a base inside the moon. The study by Harvard University's Human Flourishing Program further puts forward the idea that UFOs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, may be spaceships visiting their Earth-based alien friends. So basically, like, this is Men in Black. Like, they're saying, like, we're like Men in Black, where they've got, like, hey, this is your, like, customs point for aliens versus, like, your customs point at the airport.
Yeah.
They have also investigated so-called cryptoterrestrials. These could be disguising themselves as humans to fit in, may have come from Earth's future, or might have descended from intelligent dinosaurs. I am reading this fresh. Like, my brain can do the, like, read a paragraph ahead thing while you're reading the thing out loud so you don't mess it up.
That's wild, isn't it?
But what did I just read?
This is from Harvard.
This is from Harvard. Though, okay, so major digression from this digression. There is a guy on TikTok. I'm pretty sure he's on TikTok, who he'll wear Harvard shirts. And when you wear a Harvard shirt, like, people think that you went to Harvard. And so, like, he'll get in these conversations with these frat boys who, like, went to Harvard. And he's like, oh, Harvard's a real school? I thought it just existed in Legally Blonde. And just, like, watches these guys melt down.
That's pretty funny. Actually.
And I am like, I love everything about this.
That's pretty funny.
You mean that made up school from that movie?
Let's learn more about the aliens that are living among us.
The study was created to offer an alternate, quote, unconventional end quote, explanation for UAP sightings and to hypothesize what they might mean and, quote, the possibility that UAP may involve forms of non-human intelligence that are already present in Earth's environment in some sense, end quote, that exist, quote, alongside us in distinct stealth, end quote.
Alrighty.
What's distinct stealth? Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know, but they haven't talked about
invisibility cloaks?
They haven't talked about like the proof.
Yeah. The paper reads, quote, the author became increasingly aware of the depth of evidence and theory that also tentatively supports other ultra-terrestrial explanation. The crypto-terrestrial hypothesis, our focus here, which holds that the UAP may reflect activities of non-human intelligences concealed here on Earth, example underground, and its environs. Did they just do did they do ayahuasca? Is that what happened? Because if you become increasingly aware of the depth of evidence and theory, are you doing drugs for that?
Probably.
Like,
yeah.
How many drugs are you on? And are they good ones? Because I think they might be.
Yeah, psychedelics. People do psychedelics, and they talk about like the elf people.
Yeah.
And
So,
the different dimensions. This is like Joe Rogan shit.
yeah. So they have 4 theories. The first are human cryptoterrestrials, which is technology advanced, able to pretend to be humans, but they were largely destroyed long ago. But continued. Wait, no. Cryptoterrestrials, a technology advanced ancient human civilization that was largely destroyed long ago, maybe by like a flood, but continued to exist in remnant form. The second are hominoid or theropod cryptoterrestrials, technology advanced non-human civilization, consisting of some terrestrial animal which evolved to live in stealth, i.e. underground. The paper suggests these could be an ape-like hominoid, descendant or descendants of, quote, unknown intelligent dinosaurs, end quote. Elliot would love that. Now, I would like to point out, everyone should know this already. We already live amongst dinosaurs because alligators and sharks and turtles, mostly the alligators and the sharks, and people don't really know how long alligators and sharks can live. They just kind of die because of external factors. We don't really know of a whole lot of them dying due to like old age.
Okay.
So many questions about sharks. I want to say there's like a shark that's thought to be like 2,000 years old or something stupid, or like 1,000 years old or something, like maybe 200 years old. I don't remember. There's like a ridiculously old shark somewhere. I swear. Like Google old ass shark and it'll probably come up. So the third cryptoterrestrials are former extraterrestrial or extratempestrial cryptoterrestrials. What do these words even mean? These would have arrived on Earth from elsewhere in the cosmos or from the human feature, respectively, and concealed themselves in stealth, such as in the moon.
By the way, Google says sharks live 20 to 30 years in the wild. At the extreme end of the longevity scale are Greenland sharks, which can live at least 272 years, making them the longest lived vertebrates in existence.
I swear, there was a shark that they found like that was like still kicking and had like something from like the 1800s.
Well, I mean, 200 years ago, that's the 1800s.
Yeah.
250 years ago or 270 years ago, that's before America.
Yeah.
So
okay, so are you on the edge of your seat? Because I know you paid for your whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge for this last one.
yeah, because this is the point where this is relevant, you guys. People listening, this is relevant because some people are, I feel like, may not have been telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth about their existence on this planet.
So Theory 4, dubbed CTH4, are, quote, magical cryptoterrestrials, end quote. Entities which are less like homegrown aliens and more like, quote, earthbound angels, end quote. The paper says these relate to the world inhabited by humans in ways that are less technological than magical, giving examples of fairies, elves, nymphs, and gnomes.
Oh, man.
Who do we know that might fit that description?
I don't know.
Some people might not be who they say they are. Or are they who they say exactly they are?
I don't know. I have questions.
I have many questions as well.
Yes, I have questions.
The academics do conclude that their theories, especially the gnome's suggestion, might be hard to take by many people.
Yes.
Quote, the principal weakness of CTH4, by contrast, is its utter strangeness, particularly for readers schooled to limit themselves to modes of explanation within the bounds of, say, the standard model of physics. While belief in extraterrestrials is tenable, belief in something like fairies is simply not a live option for many scientists.
You don't say.
I am pretty sure that aliens exist, because alien just means some life outside of our planet. There's a lot of planets. There's a lot of solar systems. There's a lot of planets that are Earth-like as far as like distance from a star, and like, now it could be like single cell organisms. They could be like jellyfish who don't have a brain, but they exist in some capacity. But one of them does live among us and has been in our basement drinking. So there's also that.
All right. Well, I think we will leave it at that, and we'll wait for the blowback.
It's okay. Caroline's spicy peppers are back in season.
Yeah.
So, and these were spicy on purpose this time.
Yeah.
Consequences, they can happen now.
Yeah, they can happen now. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I apologize for the technical issues.
We're getting back into it.
Yeah, we're getting back into it. Maybe you'll be back next week. Maybe we won't. Maybe. But if you like this show, make sure you leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. And follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, X. And if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you
slam that like button, smash subscribe, ring that notification bell.
Yes. Thank you, Caroline. And
welcome.
Make sure, we really appreciate your listenership, and to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
From a great dad.
Yes. This was, by the way, one of my Father's Day gifts, which I did not make this hat. This is not something you can buy from us, but we bought this from another creator called Dude Dad.
Yep. So for Father's Day, Joe got a shirt that says cold beer, smoke and grill, hot wife.
Yes.
And
you're wearing your Dude Dad shirt.
I am. So on the front, you can't tell, but it says Mama Bear needs coffee. And on the back.
Oh, jeez. We lost a screw. I don't know how.
Oh, no. It says mess around and find out. So instead of FAFO, it's mess around and find out.
But thank you so much for being patient with us and for listening. And we'll see you again next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Bye.